And welcome back to Nat19, Vestige of Ophiuchus, Campaign 1, Session 26. Are you guys fucking ready?
Maybe.
There's a lot of cheese on this cheesesteak.
I see. I assume that you've already been to our place.
I believe so. That's where I woke up.
Yeah, would have been.
Looks
Try
at the
not to tell
pocket
anyone. We
confirmation.
try to keep it relatively secret.
Makes the zipper lip motion. Gotcha.
Cute.
Nadia crosses her arms.
Though since you know, you're welcome to come visit anytime you'd like to.
As for you, you're always welcome to, and there's always a place to stay. I don't really need to sleep, so you can borrow my bed.
She
That's my
smirks
room
at
also, but I can leave if you want me to.
But yeah, with everything that's happened, I think I need some time to process what's going on. I didn't have confirmation that the Crystal Queen was still around until recently, so I'm gonna go scream into a pillow for a while. He starts walking off, puts his scythe over his shoulder, and just one hand in his pocket and starts strolling away from you guys. Get home safely.
Before you go,
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over to Argo. Real quick, I just want to mention something to you. I'm gonna hit him in the face.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll
Not
an
enough to
insight
do
check.
damage.
I'm gonna roll an insight check on his part.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, no what? No, I totally trust you. roll an attack roll with advantage against him.
All right.
Please
Rolled
look at
insight.
his
Got a nat
beautiful
1.
face, Spencer.
I gotta. Yeah. Hold on.
Roll well.
No.
I'll just put a
Or roll,
-1 on
or
this.
roll poorly. Either one.
Okay.
Fucked up.
Oh,
Yeah, you walk up to him, you hit him, he stumbles back a bit, his head craned back from the hit. He, like, puts his hand up on his jaw, then brings his head back down.
That was for using your whole person on me.
That's fine. No, I totally understand that.
See you at the tournament.
Of course, now I know
turn back.
something that you don't particularly care for. So I'll see you in the tournament, Vogan.
Oh, you dumb bitch!
I take back my punch. I take it back. I take it back.
I wouldn't be too worried, though. I'm nothing but talk. Turns, walks. I'm sure that if we have to fight in the tournament, I won't pose you any trouble.
I don't know why he said that. He's right.
If he's taking off, I might as well take off as well. We've got some preparations to do. Plus, a complication with a mission that we did before that we have to see to. So, I will see you guys while the tournament's going on. And hopefully,
She, like, looks over to Fenris.
in between.
Damn, she seems to really like you.
What a couple of nice people.
Yeah, I hope so. Fenris just like leans over and takes a deep breath.
She's like bent over.
like this whole time, like Fenris has good posture, but you've never seen it as on point as the last like couple hours around her. And so she's just like, okay, I'm good. Just give me a minute. I'll be good.
Thumbs up again. Fenris, you were just like kidnapped. You should at least like lie down and like try to sleep. Like resting.
It wasn't really kidnapping. I think I only stayed in manacles
What
for
is
like...
your definition of kidnapping?
Well, okay, yes, I was kidnapped, but when I
There you
woke up,
go.
I was only in manacles for like maybe 20 minutes of my stay.
Yeah, it's more like a. You sound like you had fun.
Definitely a hotel suite right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, they're not really living anywhere too bad. Making eye contact with Forrest, adjacent.
A treehouse? They live in a treehouse, don't they?
No.
House.
Unfortunately not, although that's
They
pretty
struck
funny
me
to
as
imagine.
treehouse people.
It would have been very defensible too. There's no way I could have climbed a tree.
Oh.
Oh, Quintus.
Not in this anyway.
Oh, Quintus.
Just in his underwear trying to climb a tree.
Come down here, you cowards!
Fight me!
No.
I mean,
Guys, they said no.
I mean, I've been kidnapped a couple times, so I would put that as maybe #1 on the least uncomfortable situations.
Wait, you've been kidnapped a couple times?
What? maybe not kidnapped, picked up off the streets.
What?
Upward stuff. Don't
Those
worry
are
about it.
two
Lexi.
very different things.
Oh.
Just puts hands
Trust
on
me,
her
I know.
head. Oh.
I've kidnapped people before.
Yeah.
Probably you. I'm kidding.
I suppose I mean just being held captive in general.
Raleigh,
Yeah.
whenever you are dreaming, you're still awake, but whenever you are, whenever you become aware that you are having an experience while you're sleeping, you become aware that while you're dreaming of whatever it is you happen to be dreaming of that particular night, a very cold feeling comes over you. Light disappears from the dream and seems to focus in on you like a spotlight, and the ground underneath your feet turns to pure ice. As it does, you hear the voice of your patron, Morganite, ringing around you. You hear a very slow crow.
Oh, is that you, boss? Something I can help you with?
Something powerful shining near you.
You hear the movement of something as if a massive form was moving beneath water around you, drifting through the darkness as if the ice under your feet was above an ocean, and below that Morganite was swimming underneath it. As you look down at your feet and try to get a sense of where Morganite's large form is, the light over you disappears as if Morganite moved above you and blocked it out for a second, and then it goes back to shining down on you.
An ancient light. Something I never thought I'd see or feel. I tried to look through your eyes, but my sight of it is blocked. What happened?
Well, let's see. We were ambushed, got a little bit, some of us were kidnapped. Fought a dragon. Could that have been it? We fought a dragon.
Do any of you possess any weapons, armor, artifacts, beyond your understanding, like the apple?
Like, perhaps something idolic? We may have a few of those. So I believe we've come into possession about 2 idolic armaments so far. Is that what you're referring to?
There's a very large upheaval in front of you. As there is, light suddenly fills this vast icy void that your dream has become, illuminated by a suddenly apparating series of full blue moons in the sky. As it does, you see a large chunk of the ice in front of you cracks upwards, and Morganite's massive form emerges from it and towers over you, looking down.
It's beyond that. An artifact of the Eidolons has been awoken, and it is in the hands of those who don't understand it.
And you think one of us has it?
It was near you. Find it. Retrieve it.
You see this case, this ball of water form in front of you, and then turns to ice. This 5-foot radius cube.
I will grant you a treasury to connect you and I, so I do not have to come to retrieve it myself. But that artifact in the hands of mortals is dangerous. Retrieve it, and then release it to me.
I'll look into it. But if it is indeed in the hands of one of my allies, I won't betray them again.
Your allies are not mine. You have your orders. I am confident. If you were to retrieve the sword, I believe I could unlock some of your past. I have conferred with others beyond my own station. I know I could do it for you.
His body begins cracking as if made of ice, and chips of it begin falling off, causing splashes in the water below him that are disproportionately large to the chunks falling into them. You see in the sky the moons appear to be slowly, they appear to be waning rapidly and becoming new moons, the light disappearing around you.
Do cease wasting time. You only have a very short lifespan to use. and I have much greater plans for you than these mortals. Do not fail me, Crow.
What were you dreaming of before?
I don't know. I'm not sure if,
Kittens.
I was just about to say kittens.
Yeah!
Oh my
What were you dreaming of before?
Best friends!
What's that? What were you dreaming of before?
The
Shirtless
area
Quintus?
just becomes a series of rainbows. It's Pride Month, Morganite. Back to that I go. Frolics off into a meadow.
It's like now back to my other. It's like now back to my other dream. Looks back. Hey Raleigh, you want to help me put all this suntan lotion on my abs?
But yeah, as you wake up in the morning, you find that you have been granted the knowledge and magical means to access your phantasmic treasury.
excellent.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Yeah.
All of you wake up! Werewolves, open your eyes.
Werewolf campaign. Werewolf campaign.
God!
Regard one another.
I'm glad that didn't happen. I would have hated to have killed someone in my sleep and woke up in blood.
Same.
Before we like head into town or do anything, I'm gonna go to Quintus and Miriam's and question mark's room.
It's time to
What was
decide
that?
who is in the room.
You alright?
I'll say I'm in there.
I was hanging out with the girls.
Yeah,
Hey.
hey, we're having a slumber party. You're bringing
Doing
our
each other's
hair.
head.
There you go. Bald.
Insert scene from SpongeBob movie.
Yeah, there you go.
You just hear the sound of like.
My eyes!
Yes.
In the middle of the night, light from the moon reflecting off your head so intensely.
Starts a fire.
Ah! No! Moonlight! My weakness!
You all awaken.
Another thing I've been thinking about, and I've just been having really weird thoughts about it, and
I am single.
I want. Miriam. No. I'm kind of worried, and I wanted to talk to someone like a little bit smarter than me about it to see if they have any other theories about it.
I'm sure there's someone smarter than you around here.
I didn't see it, but when we were talking to Argo, you mentioned that when we were at the Crystal Queen's castle that
sit down.
she had like a blood pool or a blood pit or something.
Yeah.
What do you think that's all about?
Just feeding something is the best thing I could guess. There was a large undead. I can't make any judgments as to what it was. I'd never seen anything like it, and I'd be keen to never see anything like it again. It was growing out of the wall. The pits that Elmira, the rat folk, and one hobgoblin who I ignored, they were all grated, so they were leading down somewhere. It could be to some reservoir as well. Maybe she bathes in it, which is eccentric enough.
So you think that she's like feeding something else? You don't think it's like for her or anything, right?
Could be. I wouldn't say I have enough knowledge of the Crystal Queen or anything about her to make an astute observation. I just know that it was going down somewhere, and there were things growing off of those holes, so I think it was also feeding the thing on the wall. Whether there's any secondary purposes is blind to me.
So like when I was still working for the family, and we were going on, like me and Kevin were going on missions and stuff. One of my like favorite missions that we went on, Contabile used to take us to Sermon Way, and he would kind of go off on his own, and he would like leave us to like roam around the countryside, and it would be really, really fun. I mean, we still had like our shot collars on and stuff like that, so we couldn't like get away. But I kind of got to do what I wanted to do for a little bit, and it was fun. 2-3 years later, Contabile's son got delivered to him, and I figured that it might have been like the mum might have been the woman that we were going to visit, and that was Raleigh. And when we were talking to Argo, he mentioned that the Crystal Queen used to live in the tundras of Sermon Way, and she's got a blood pool, and I'm just wondering, you know.
Nothing we couldn't make a definitive answer for without asking her or Contabile, but from what I understand, he's not in a position for conversation. But it sounds convincing enough.
But like, if that's true, then that's really bad, right? Like,
She's really bad, Lex.
Like, could there be like any other theories?
Nah, I'm at a loss. I don't say there's a lot of, or rather, there's not a lot of myths and legends of those who stalked the tundras of Sermonway. So I can't imagine there's many other people that fit that description.
Should I tell him? Or no? It feels like kind of a big deal and it might freak him out a little bit.
Maybe. I don't know what I would do if I were given information like that. There's not really much you can act upon other than be vaguely horrified at the thought.
Okay, well I'm just gonna go worry about that now.
All
Thanks,
right,
Miriam.
Always here to listen, Lex.
And I'm gonna go meet the others, man.
Goes back, passes by Raleigh. Raleigh's just like,
Sup,
Lexi,
man?
you're nothing!
I didn't say anything, Raleigh! Fuck's sake, you nosy boot.
Sorry. Who pissed in your cornflakes?
Sorry.
Fucking why?
Awful.
It's a hobgoblin custom. It's part of my culture. Don't make fun of me.
That's not okay. Kumquat.
Just far away look. Shudders. Come.
Well, that's a
Did it
story
come-
I'm gonna want details on
did
later.
a kumquat hurt you?
Yeah. Come quite do to you.
She had one year met an Eidolon that was a kumquat. An Eidolon with a kumquat.
I had this dream, this reoccurring one that I just kept drowning in I don't know.
What?
Anyway. Anyway.
Maybe a bad place to cut off your sentence, Fred.
Well,
I'm done!
That's an interesting dream you had there, Fenris.
And now that's attached to Fenris forever. So moving, moving.
I was so zoned out, I missed all of that. What?
Good.
Oh,
Anyway.
Moving forward. As you guys head back out into the Golden Gleam Bazaar, you hear a familiar voice raising up above the crowds, calling out to you. It doesn't take long for you guys to whip around and through the hustle and bustle of everyone around you, catch a familiar red-haired bard walking towards you rather happily.
Hooray!
I see everything worked out for you.
Yeah. So far, at least.
Is everything taken care of then?
Well, hopefully soon it will be.
Well, you were all dealing with whatever it was you had to do yesterday. I followed up on the leads that we had regarding the mine.
We were actually planning on heading out that way today. What'd you learn?
Well, if you remember, there was the shipment of lumber and such that was going to be taken there. That only happens once every 2 weeks and only on Saturdays, so I decided to trail it. And I didn't get too close because I didn't want to be caught without the rest of you there to help me, but I did manage to find exactly where it's going. So, we can, if you want to, and I recommend we get this done before the tournament gets underway, I can find my way back there. It was, predictably conspicuous. Several people took lumber, a lot of boards and what looks like the materials that they would require to build supports. It is a mine. It doesn't shock me all that much. They took quite a bit of it there. And the people that met them, they were wearing cloaks. They were making sure that their faces weren't seen. But from their hands and their posture, I could tell they weren't human. Or any of the civilized races, at the very least.
And you think you can find your way back, of course.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to come with us, I'd be invaluable.
I'm not sure if you remember our arrangement, but it's more that you're coming with me.
If you insist.
If Murkwire is
suppose we
there,
are
or
with
if
you
something
in this
Murkwire
endeavor.
cares about is there, or if there's even the slightest chance that I could get back my violin, then you're hired help. Your reward is that I join your guild, if you recall.
Then tell us what we should do, employer.
Well, sign up for the tournament if that's what you want to do. We have going to have about a day to get in there and find whatever they're digging for. It'll be really disappointing, though, if we go in and there's just a dead end. If they haven't found whatever it is, that's going to be anticlimactic. But we just have to hope that they've come far enough along. As long as we head out fairly soon, it's only about an hour, couple hours outside of town.
Even if there is nothing there when we get there, we are in your employ until we find you something you need.
At the very least, if Murkwire's not there, and he has one of his beast tribe compatriots doing the actual digging, we could strip him of some of his followers. I think that would be worthwhile.
That sounds fun.
We should be
Good
ready
practice.
fairly soon.
All right. Well, I have no reason not to hang out with you, so if you don't mind, I'll accompany you.
That sounds great.
We could use some help making it all the way back over there too. We haven't been to the sign-up area, and you seem to know where it is.
Absolutely, I've been there a few times trying to find information for all of you, which is starting to feel like it's my job. And she walks out in front of you guys like, come with me. She fucking, as she's walking, the Lyra mask tilts off slightly, revealing the compressed face of an obsidian dragonborn. No, stay on.
No.
They haven't caught on to me yet.
The Lyra mask falls off, and we see Diane.
Again!
They haven't caught on to me yet.
Everyone!
Ah, yes. Good old helpful Lyra. And her violin, and her musical skills, and her conspicuous long black tail.
Is it bad? There's like a part of me that really wants her to betray us.
No, right? Yeah.
Just because she's the most, like, one of the most trusted NPCs we have.
You see a figure that is standing, arms behind his back clasped, very regally looking down, appears to be inspecting. You see several guards also in the area surrounding him, all of them platinum watch. You guys would see this particular boy.
Ah, it's a boy!
Oh, it's that boy!
Oh, he
The
looks so
mystery
happy
boy.
and jolly, and I love him!
He
Looking-
looks like a friend.
I made the image way too big. Oh no, I accidentally hit original size.
Spencer, no!
I love him!
None of you
He's
would
my favorite.
recognize him,
Like,
but you can tell by those
100
around him he's being given a great deal of importance.
You don't suppose?
Somebody
Ability of
Could
some
that
sort.
be our gracious host?
Lyra, who is halfway down a set of stairs, stops, comes back up. What are we looking at?
We're watching
be
who that
him.
guy is.
She walks over to the window, looks through the grating up towards him.
All right. That's the High Lord. Lord Morian. The man who's been in power here for the last 30 years, and after all of this happens, is going to be stepping down.
Only 30 years.
Listen, you.
What do you mean only 30 years?
That's a long time for other people.
Most people I know die at like 10.
Oh no.
10.
I haven't been here all that long, but I do know that this place was a lot worse off before he showed up. Summergrass was, Mott in general was considered to be a bit... They were struggling. Their last leader was somewhat tyrannical from what I heard. He showed up and set things right. He says that he got involved in politics because he wanted to set the country back on the right track, and he did. Said that recently he feels like his work is done, and he wants to retire to, I believe he says he wants to open a gallery?
He looks really nice.
Let's make our way.
He's got a nice laugh. I like him.
Reminds me of your laugh, actually, Quintus. It's like an older, wrinkly version of you.
If only I can grow a full beard and mustache like that when I grow old.
I'm sure you can do it.
I wish I could grow hair.
I knew it!
I could grow hair.
Wait, I I've been thinking about this for so long, Vogan, so you can't grow hair.
I walk away.
Aw, come
Keep her in
back.
suspense.
Just clutches her head.
We have to know.
Male pattern baldness, I see. I can't wait for him to betray us.
No.
Sam.
No. Not
I can't
King
wait for Santa to betray us.
It's a fancy
He
man.
looks
I
like
choose to
he
look like
gives.
that man.
All right, Carrie.
What? I love to look like him. It looks great.
That guy is like a mega daddy. Hell yeah.
Yo, right?
Well,
Oh,
there
come
it
on, you
is.
thirsty bastard.
There it was.
On the way to the cart.
On your way to the cart.
We got a cave to butcher or whatever.
Butcher.
As you guys move forward, you eventually come to a effectively what amounts to a wall. Following it along, you see in the distance there is a slight clearing, and within that clearing, you see large piles of lumber, some wagons that appear to have taken it in there. You see various tire tracks from these wagons that led in here. Clearly, they supported a lot of weight as they were brought in, but you don't see any hoof prints. You assume that these would have been pulled by whatever people are working here. As you approach, you see there are a handful of figures. You count 5 of them that appear to be wearing cloaks over their heads, relatively full body cloaks, but these cloaks are pulled down on a couple of them, and you see that they are, in fact, from where you are, they are bestial in nature. And that is, upon inspecting them for a moment, you do recognize the physiology of gnolls. Side, you hear the guttural snarling of it just being...
Never thought we'd be treated this way.
As they move inside. You notice Lyra spins the chamber of her revolver as she sees them, and then clicks her gun into place.
Oh, you named all of them.
Of course I did! Of course I named all of them! Heckin', you think I wouldn't name every single thing I could? That's my favorite thing. It's Fantasy Grounds' greatest strength, because you don't gotta remember them!
Shiver Spy Wanless. Stablock. Vibble.
They don't have to be good names. Okay, as you guys charge collectively, with Quintus taking up the front and the rest of you coming in at the same time, you notice movement in the trees up above you, and as you do, you start to see what before you would have mistaken for branches for how quiet and still they were. Witherlings begin falling from the trees, crumpling on the ground in front of you, as the gnolls all turn towards you.
There are invaders. Things were boring. This will be entertaining.
And then, and now we move forward. As you move forward, they clamber around you. Those ones that are over there begin issuing orders. We're gonna go to the top of the round, and the top of the round is Miriam. Did I roll for Lyra? I did not roll for Lyra or Winchester, but we're just going to adjust Winchester to be...
Yeah.
Hey.
Quintus's.
I have
Or we can adjust
just
mine.
real quick, I gotta roll Lyra's, so give me 1 sec to see if she gets higher than you. Nope, but she got 1 less than you. Good job, Bards.
Damn! Good job.
Bard Squad. I cast Call Lightning.
All right.
Yes!
The gnolls look upwards as the lightning begins to form, like,
This is powerful magic.
You can maybe
You
get
see
3
the-
if you go for this one.
As Fantasy Grounds crashes.
Powerful.
all right, they both fail. As they rush forward, lightning strikes down. 2 of the witherlings get ignited and burst into ash. The gnolls look up towards this happening. They begin looking around to the others.
Fall back into the mine. This is unwanted.
He looks towards several of the 3 gnolls that are the farthest out.
Except you. You will be brave. You're the ones.
You go on a lot about bravery, yet you're showing a lot of cowardice.
Roll me intimidation.
You got it. Ah, 9. Dang it.
Come in here and I'll show you how brave I am!
And I'll end my turn there.
If you all are who I think you are, I'm going to enjoy the revenge we'll be carving out of your hides for our brothers.
And he is going. That's you. This boy's gonna go. This boy's gonna. He takes a step out. Here's another thunderclap above. Pauses for a second. You see him clench his fist. He rushes towards Vogan. And he's gonna heck in. He's gonna do
Get out
it.
of my way.
He lunges at you with a spear. Goes for the attack.
Go that way.
Lunges at you with the spear. You bring your blade up. You catch it, and you cause the spear to go to the side of you.
I have a gift for you. It is my warhammer.
Oh, is it the?
And that's an at 20! Good way to break in the warhammer.
Yes, a good
Yeah.
gift.
I like do like golf stance, pull back, and fart.
All right, you get to the Knoll Witherling. You take a shot at him. Go ahead and roll your damage. The Knoll
Nice.
Witherling is obliterated. It is blasted. You
Can I
strike
just-
it. The top half of its body rips off the bottom
Yeah.
half and goes flying behind it, hits a tree and gets caught in it. The bottom half stands for a second and then meekly tumbles to the ground.
Did you see that? End of my turn.
First attack.
You hit.
Hey.
There you
Quit it.
go.
Habra!
You strike him. He recoils. He tries to duck under it, but you aim down and manage to catch him with it.
Hell yeah.
Flag advantage this time.
Mm-hmm.
Habra!
Alrighty. And you strike him, and he is going to take... Yeah, you hit him. Do all your damage.
Habra!
You hit him, he takes another 8. Winchester, as an independent mount, is going to... you made him dash, right?
Yeah, he dashed.
Okay, so that's him.
And I will knock him over.
Alrighty, go ahead and try.
Bah! Oh, fuck.
Oh no! All right, botch the roll, Pack Lord.
I'll have him roll, but
Yeah.
he got a 19. Wrong one, but they have the same check, so. This Witherling over here is going to turn. They're going after Lexi.
Oh,
They rush towards you.
with that.
They're gonna try to bite you. They bring their fangs in. They hit.
oh, uncanny dodge.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead and apply the effect to yourself.
It's okay.
Bites into you. You take 3 damage. It maxed its attack. It's then gonna go for another bite on you, and it hits again.
Stop.
And this one also maxes. If you guys were took that when you were back at first level, you'd be dead. It would have just ended you.
yeah.
Well, this is why you've been maxing all of your health rolls.
This is why you have more health than me.
Oof.
Yeah.
The Knoll here takes a spear and begins to move forward, and then a call from the back from the Pack Lord rings out like,
Get inside! Lugar, warn the boss and the witch.
he looks
Take out that
towards
one.
them.
Take out that one.
Oh, get it, get it,
He
get it,
looks
get it,
to
get it,
them.
get it.
He turns and he is going to move and dash. 1, 2, 3, 4,
stop him, right?
5, 6. He begins rushing back inside.
Come at me.
Leave him alone.
He's going to
Beat you up.
rush forward, and he is
Stall your
going
wits.
to make 2 attacks with his spear. Comes at you. As you're attacking them and you regard what was happening, you see a shadow come up beside you. And look, as this thing's lunging down on you, you duck to the side as the spear digs into the ground. It then snaps forward at you with its fangs. And it misses both times.
Woo!
And takes the spear out of the ground. It having been dug in an impressive amount, aims it at you.
What's wrong? Scared?
And now this Knoll Witherling here is gonna 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. It can't make it to Lexi, so it rushes forward.
Christ.
You're like scared as you say this from behind you. Witherling leaps up and is gonna go for a bite. That's a miss. It clangs down on your shoulder but hits metal. You're reminded of your last encounters with these witherlings and how far you've clearly come since that fight.
Yeah.
As these things clamber over you. That one hits. And as you think about that, then blood pours from your shoulder as its fangs pierce in.
This is
Max damage again!
Oh my god.
Dang.
It does 6 damage to you. Luckily, max damage for them isn't the end of the world, but
not,
still,
yeah.
though.
It would have been
Especially for
when we were
me.
first play.
I've got the most health in the party.
Back
so.
up to Miriam. Wonder what this is gonna look
Miriam.
like.
Miriam, do it.
Don't worry about me! Just hit me!
Don't
Miriam,
worry about it.
I will. Are you gonna take it, Pokin?
Fucking come at me.
He can dodge. Believe in your friend.
I can basically uncanny dodge if you want to do it.
Yep. So you can't do it to
This is an
saving throws.
attack, not an attack roll.
This isn't an attack.
The sky is
Logan,
attacking me. I don't know what you're
I
talking
could
about.
see,
Come on,
Logan,
man.
I can see the poison vent, so I should be able to ungift it.
If you take that much damage, I'll heal
That's
you.
why I said the sky
No,
is attacking me.
Like, I clarified harmful action. I count this as casting a spell, but go for it. So you would come out of invisibility. Oh no!
I can't see what happened.
Unleash hell!
I got a bunch of healing potions anyway. It's fine.
Lightning strikes!
Nice.
There's a blast. Electricity erupts from the sky and strikes them. As the flash lets out, there's 4 smoking husks of gnolls left on the ground, and 1 slightly charred Vogan.
This is fun.
Just you guys here, just a...
Stupid sky.
You have no idea he can cast Call Lightning, so you're just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Before the battle, I had said Haros was angry, and you're like, fuck you, Haros!
Damn nature, you scary! Call Lightning is such a dirty
Just because
spell.
you owe me money doesn't mean you have to kill me, gods.
Bonus action to healing word.
So Lexi,
Thank you.
those 2 gnolls that are near you are both gonna vengeful strike you.
Well, fuck.
I know another gnoll died, so they can take an attack. So they're gonna try to bite you. That's a hit. You've already used your reaction.
I've already used my.
What is with all the max damages?
Oh my god.
Goodness!
Alright.
And then the other one goes for an attack,
Goodness gracious.
and that one blocked by effect. So Carrie wants me to shoot a boy so that we can move on.
Okay.
She is currently trying to sign back in, but we nuked her cash and then she's getting everything back. Hopefully it works.
Just shoot a boy. I don't care which one. Shoot him.
You're going to move your crossbow to your offhand. We're going to have you short sword the witherling that's in front of you.
Fine.
You're being very generous letting
Can she offhand her light crossbow?
She can move it to her offhand.
Oh,
She's moving
gotcha.
it so that she can, yeah.
Yeah, she only needs one hand to actually use the short sword.
Alright, fair.
Carrie, where is your...
Just means like that she couldn't cast spells because she wouldn't have a hand free for somatic components.
Oh, the last thing I saw before I'm gonna get rid of everything is Dula just gave us $200.
Oh, Dueler! Thank you very
Oh
much.
my
Sorry for the
God.
delay, everybody. So,
Sorry.
they go for an attack. You nat one.
Well, hey.
Well. All right.
You nat one. And then...
You're
you're
not supposed
gonna-
to take over her rolls, just her turn.
Yeah.
You're
What
gonna...
the
And then you're going to drop the short sword.
Cool.
And go for a bonus action attack on the gnoll with your claws. Does that sound okay?
You do. Slash.
That hits. That attacks, you do
Of course that.
maximum damage. You do 4 damage.
You're doing great.
You bring out the short sword, strike it into it. It manages to go between its undead ribs. Realizing it would be hard to pull out, you let go of it. And on your way of taking your hand away from its body, you rake your claws up its body. The short sword dangles in its ribs for a second, then slides out onto the ground.
Gross.
Real gross.
And that's you. And then...
Hooray.
And then, that gnoll goes.
That knoll is
Whoa.
gonna try to bite you and then club you. That knoll's gonna get a crit.
Oh.
You mean
It's
withering?
gonna. It's
Oh,
gonna.
right, it's still a knoll.
It's a knoll. It's gonna do almost max damage. You take 9.
No.
It then strikes you with its club. And it hits. Oh, Lexi,
it's
are
a
you
ploy
gonna?
to kill Carrie while she can't be here, I see.
Really?
Oh my! You take
I
5
don't even get to be
damage.
here when you murder me.
I'm so sorry.
Not allowed.
I'm so sorry.
Turns out
I-
if you active disconnect the player, it auto crits every time.
Yeah, Raleigh.
Have I been disconnected?
Have I been disconnecting, reconnecting every turn in every game we've played?
God.
That would explain a
Ridiculous.
lot. That's way more probable than what's been happening.
Let's see if we can maybe save the Lexi girl.
What do you care?
I care. Fine, I'll let you die.
You hit. And it's dead. You blast it, it explodes.
You're
Nice.
welcome.
Fucking the statue of Vemrook's just sitting there like, don't ignore me.
Can I get around? Like, will we have cover if I'm like here? Or
Given where it is, it'll have cover as long as you're on that side of it.
crud. Alright.
I may as well take a shot.
Yeah. Shoot my shot. Bam.
That even with if it had cover, that would still hit. So
Sweet.
go ahead. Oh, you got him!
Oh, thread the needle.
You blast him. It fires. It goes. As it goes towards him, Winchester bucks back, and the blast goes under Winchester and strikes him. He's blasted into the ground. Rocks being cast aside as his body skids to a stop. All right,
So
is
glad
that
I came
you?
with the horse. Yeah. I'll say to Vogan, like, your way's clear. Go get the other one.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Anyone who's there.
Winchester flash steps.
Look at
Get
go.
them, Quintus.
To the pit trap.
This poor Noel.
I'm back in, by the way.
Poor
Does it
Lugar.
look okay?
Yeah, it looks like it did before. I don't know what the fuck happened.
So after this game, I'd like it if we could all nuke our caches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuke your
Okay.
cash.
Dirty.
It'll
Winchester
also
flash
affect your
that's
other
behind him.
games, but it shouldn't be a big deal.
How about we keep this between us? And then I'm gonna attack him.
Get him.
Huh!
That hits.
Nice.
Ugh, he takes 8 damage.
Ah!
Oh, crit.
Get him.
Goodbye.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Pierce him down into the ground. He strikes the ground. Looking up, you hear him just faintly try to call out, Boss! Plunge it! Why?
You don't know what you're in for. I would turn back if I were you.
Okay, so Vimrock.
You've
love
got
how
yourself
there's
in
all-
a bit of a situation.
I love how
but
there's
believe in you.
already a fucking call lightning
Okay.
thing over his head.
It can't affect him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Is it
so
when they take damage, or does it have to be an attack roll?
when they an attack roll is what shatters this, you could do damage to him. It would be. My main thing is it's stone, so he
resist
would.
all damage while petrified.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead and try to, in any case. At this point. I can't imagine he's going to... Yeah, go ahead and deal your damage. He resists it, sure. But... you strike
He
him
resists it.
as he
sure.
says that, and you guys look towards it. You see the statue beginning to crack. Marion puts his hand out. A bolt of lightning comes down and strikes it. The ground underneath it explodes, and chunks of stone rain down. No discernible piece of knoll left.
Are we out of initiative?
Yeah, initiative ends. You guys hear the faint sound of wind flowing in and howling in the cave. You guys stop, you regard the tunnel. You hear in the distance the faint sound of metal footfalls upon stone. For the next hour or so, nobody seems to come in or go out. You do know that a couple gnolls had taken lumber in before, but you're at least aware that inside, whoever they referred to as the boss, the entity that you guys had been told before a long time ago, and Plunge, the leader of the gnolls, you at least know that he's present at the site, from what they said.
Cool.
Something about the sorcerer too,
The witch.
or the witch, yeah.
The witch.
And
So we
with
know,
that,
we know one girl may be in there.
and with that, I'm going to apply experience to you guys. And then we are going to be done for today. And then goodbye, YouTube.
Bye,